A dear and intuitive friend living across the country sensed that life and stress was stealing my happy spirit. She treated me to a writer's weekend at a healing place called Harmony Hill, in Union, Washington, in the trees overlooking the Hood Canal. Harmony Hill heals with wonderful healthy food, love, and nature, often hosting those battling cancer. I, too, found healing and restored my happy spirit in this place with the help of 3 labyrinths. A labyrinth is an ancient meditation tool with one path into the center and the same path out. The trick is to be very present to yourself and the experience when walking the labyrinth. You may not be the same person walking into the labyrinth as you become walking out. I walked the first labyrinth at Harmony Hill, the seasonal garden labyrinth, at night. This labyrinth was more angular than the typical circular design. It was also lighted with a single string of white lights following the path. Hunting around the grounds, I found a decaying brown leaf that had fallen from a tree last fall. I stood at the entrance of the labyrinth, taking a deep gulp of moist, cool night air. With the leaf in hand, I entered the labyrinth, naming the fears that were freezing me in my life and the obstacles I was allowing to trump my dreams. My walk was slow and droning, repeating what I wanted to release. I asked my guardian angel to help me leave behind these burdens. I noticed the plants along the path. The garden labyrinth had not yet been tended since winter's cold, pounding rain had driven the plants into dormancy. The dirt was black and the air smelled of moldy earth. When I got to the center of the labyrinth, I paused, named my burdens, and stated that they would be left behind with the dead leaf. Placing the leaf in the center of the labyrinth, where others had left heavy stones holding their burdens, I stood and turned my face to the night sky. I breathed in that universal energy by all names, God, Buddha, Mother Nature, Universal Love, Spirit, the Force. I saw beautiful stars and felt lighter. My pace, winding out of the path, was quicker, noticing now the sprouting spring flowers, crocuses, opening tulips, and yellow daffodils, lit by the twinkling Christmas lights. As I took my last step out of the labyrinth, I was overwhelmed by a gush of cathartic tears. Over the next few days, I focused on affirmations and imagining the possibilities of my future. I danced around singing the praises of my fabulousness, believing in myself and being grateful for my gifts and my family and friends. All that was left was to trust that the universe would present the right possibilities, and that I would be aware and open enough to notice them and say yes. This led me to the second labyrinth at Harmony Hill, the lawn labyrinth. This time I held a camellia flower in full bloom. It represented trust, my trust in possibility, in opportunity, and comfort with uncertainty. Trust in the universe to reward my positive energy with like positive energy that would propel me forward through transition and into reward. I walked the labyrinth, which was obscured by grass, not always knowing if I was on track or not, but always moving forward towards the center of the labyrinth. At the center, I pushed the stem of the camellia into the lawn, planting it as I grounded my trust in the universe. Now, feeling sure of a great future, I worried less about finding the correct path out of the grass-covered labyrinth and skipped my way out with a confident smile. How wonderful to not be alone, but knowing an infinite force was with me and ready to show me choices and paths in life that I may not even have imagined on my own. After unburdening my worries into the seasonal garden labyrinth and planting my trust in the universe into the lawn labyrinth, I was ready to take my hopes and joy into the Redwood Labyrinth. The wise, great redwood tree at the center of the labyrinth is called She Who Knows. Redwoods are warm, dry climate trees, but she who knows thrives here among the cool, wet pines. Towering over them and sheltering the labyrinth made of shells of oysters harvested from the Hood Canal. My dear friend and I walked the Redwood Labyrinth together, smiling and glowing, she softly singing and I softly chanting Om Mani Padme Om to the rhythm of her song. We touched She Who Knows in the center of the labyrinth and soaked in the beautiful spring day. We reveled in our shared joy and friendship and zest for life. On the way out of the labyrinth, we loudly sang out our joys in an old gospel song. We skipped and laughed, going outside the lines. I think She Who Knows winked at us as we left the labyrinth. Those two will be fine, she whispered on the wind. The first Saturday every May is World Labyrinth Day. Go to labyrinthlocator.com to find a labyrinth or 3 near you.